Hello, welcome to this video in which we will have a look at how to automate rule set configuration with Cisco ACI. So here on the screens you can see some people that have collaborated in this setup. As you can see, we have the application that we already described in previous videos from this series. So a two-tier application where ACI has inserted a front-end and a back-end firewall. The Tier 1 is a web server and Tier 2 is a database. So the point here, or one of the points of service insertion in ACI is that ACI can configure the inserted service, in this case a firewall. As you can see here, ACI has some information about what configuration to put on the firewall. Let's have a look, for example, at the access lists, which is running on the backend firewall, which as you can see are exactly the same as were defined in the ACI GUI. Inbound interface, the inbound access list and an additional access list for source file redirection. And the same goes for the front-end firewall here. The ports that are open are web, SSH, and ICMP. These are the services that have been configured in ACI so that they are deployed to the firewall. You maybe remember from part 1 that we had a customer self-service portal so that customers can choose whether they want firewalling services or ACI security. ACI embedded security is enough. For example, here you can see how we just removed the backend firewall through the self-service portal, and now the complete configuration, including access lists, disappeared from our backend firewall. No access lists, and if we have a look at the interfaces, there's only the management interface there, no inside, no outside. For our purpose, let's deploy the backend firewall again. There you go, and let's go to the firewall and check whether interfaces and access lists are there. So you can see there are 2 port channels, external if, internal if, and we will have a look right now at the access lists, the inside access list and the source file redirection access list. Exactly, there you go. All is back. Now, what's the next step? The next step is having a self-service portal so that not only users can deploy their firewalls, but a portal with which users can configure the rule set on the deployed firewalls. In this case, we will have a look at the front-end firewall as example. You can see we have these 3 ACLs in the front-end firewall, which are reported here by the self-service portal. Let's delete the SSH entry and have a look at ACI. You can see it's not in ACI anymore, and it's disappeared as well from the firewall configuration. Now let's re-add the rule again, which is going to allow port 22. We'll have a look what this EPG destination IP address means. In the meantime, we will allow access to any address. Doesn't mean that anybody can access this one. It just means that the fabric, the network, takes care of the IP address filtering, and the firewall only takes care of the protocol filtering. So as you can see, SSH is back both in ACI and obviously in the firewall too. Right. So let's move to the next topic of this demonstration, which is automatic object configuration. We'll define an additional access control entry, and we will set destination not just to any, but to the EPG IP addresses. EPG stands for endpoint group. As you can see now, destination is not any, but it's this object. This object is an IP address group, and we can have a look at it in the firewall CLI. Just show object group ID. There you go, and we have a single IP address. What is this? This is all the IP addresses that are connected to our web zone in our application. If you go to ACI and we have a look at this tier 1, we can see that ACI is currently seeing 1 server there. Now, if additional servers came, ACI would update the firewall configuration so that if you want to have IP address configuration on your firewall, it can be accurate without anybody having to look for it. ACI will automatically make sure that this is accurate. Right, let's do it. Let's move this server, which was in tier 2. Let's move it to tier 1. And let's initiate some traffic from the VMware console so that the network sees it. Let's ping the default gateway, or let's first check the IP address what it has. It's the .12. Our existing server had the .11, and now let's ping the default gateway with .1. Should immediately work. And there you go, ping is working. So the network should already have learned about this new web server. Actually in ACI you can see it's there, and therefore ACI should have reported it to the firewall. And in the firewall we will see there's an additional object in this object group, which is the .12. It's exactly the server we just added. Just to finish the demonstration, we can do the opposite change. So we can have the server removed from the tier 1 group. We will put in a quarantine group, and we will see how the network recognizes that there has been a change. It will remove this MAC address, and you see there's no connectivity anymore. The network ACI will remove the server from the endpoint group, and therefore will remove it as well from the firewall object group. You can see here how ACI service insertion provides a single API to access not only your network, but as well your network services, and including the possibility of leveraging all the good things that ACI API has to offer, like API Inspector or different tools like Python or Ruby software development kits. I hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to you soon. Thank you.